mountains. First, it was Crowley Lake, and then I moved on to Mammoth and boondocked out in the forest. It was awesome. I tell you, I did forest bathing. Have you ever done that before? So, forest bathing is basically like just really using all of your senses while you're in the forest amongst the trees and let all of that just wash all over you. I did that every day while I was out there. Okay, but it was funny though because it's really nice and I wasn't really that far off the highway. There's a scenic route and that's where I went. I wasn't that far off the highway, so I didn't ever feel scared because I wasn't so far into the forest that bears and other scary things would happen. But there was a lot of dirt and pine cones and bark and sticks and everything else. He finds the rocks, as always. So even though I'd be out there in my little gravity chair, well, my big gravity chair, just pondering the universe and meditating and absorbing the forest, and it's this whole peaceful moment. I look over at the dog, they start kicking dirt on me because he's just over there just playing away and he wants to play near mama. So he brings the rock toward me and kicks up dirt. And the dirt was very fine, like cocoa powder. After 8 or 9 nights, I was ready to leave the forest. 100-foot trees started to feel a little claustrophobic, like they were closing in on me. Never saw the sunrise or the sunset. You'd see the sun be going down, but there's no horizon to see a sunrise or a sunset. I've learned over the course of I think my whole life, I've loved the sunrise and sunset, but with this lifestyle, I see both every single day. Never take it for granted. Always pray in the morning, thank you for another day. Pray at night, thank you for another night. But anyway, so I was a little bit anxious to get out of there. Honestly, I think that's why I had the flare up. And I'm just trying to hitch up the trailer and I'm doing the tongue jack and to try to get it onto the truck and had forgotten to bring up the stabilizer jacks in the back. So caused some minor damage, not a big deal. If they were any lower, it would be a big deal, but they're high enough that I can drive on regular streets. But until I get them repaired, I don't feel very confident to try to go boondock anywhere. And then as soon as I was frustrated because here I am, I'm out in the middle of nowhere and it's Mammoth. And one thing I learned about Mammoth is that services are scarce. And I did talk to a couple of the guys about it. I'm not like mad at them because they can't help me. But I said, it's really amazing that there's not more RV repair for emergencies. And he says, it's hard because it's so seasonal here. It's impossible to keep a business afloat during the off seasons when nobody's here. Okay, but during the season, I couldn't get anybody to come help me. I made several calls. I'm sitting there for an hour. I'm praying. I'm frustrated. I've got total anxiety just rushing through me because it's like, what am I going to do? I'm stranded here and I can't find help. I just thought, okay, you're on your own. You got to help yourself. So I hitched up, and even that was a little frustrated. And I think it was just me. It was me. I'm frustrated. Now there's a negative energy around me, and I'll tell you, the whole time I was out there, it was very spiritual. I saw things in the forest that maybe were there, maybe weren't there. A lot of praying, a lot of meditation, did a lot of grief work. Sometimes I'd have these grief bursts, and I would just cry for a long time. And I would pick myself up and thank the spirits of the forest and get on with my day. I got some writing done, enjoyed it, did a couple little hikes, a lot of drives around June Lake, Mono Lake. I did a scenic thing for 3.5 hours while Kismet and I were looking for another place to go. But nothing was any different. Nothing looked any different than where I was in Mammoth, number one. And number two, there were no services. Grocery shopping was crazy. Gas was like $6.50 a gallon. And I was just like, you know what? I need to go where I need more amenities. I'm not comfortable. How about that? Not being around somewhere where I can get help if I need it. Because I am alone. I just have to pull forward so that I can check everything, make sure can I get out of here without scraping those stabilizers and doing more damage. And they were fine. I looked under and they're right where the axles are anyway. So I'm like, okay, it should be all right. But what am I going to do anyway if it's not? Honestly, what do I do? I saw that one of my tires was low and there was a nail in it. Okay, now I got to go to a tire store. Am I going to have the same problem of getting help with this? And yes, sure enough, I did. I got into town and I called a couple of places. I drove to a few places. I'm driving real slow because I could blow that tire at any time. And I called a mobile tire place and he didn't even answer the phone. So I'm like, I got to get this trailer somewhere. All right, so I did find after several calls and driving to places, I found a guy who was not really reluctant, but he was super busy. And he's like, how am I going to fit this in and get a trailer in here? It was a small place. It's not like I could just park on the street and he could do it. I had to be like right in front of his bay for him to fix the tire, right? But I found these guys and they were just really nice. And they said, okay, before I go to lunch, we'll clear this out. Blah, 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 blah. But you got to go wait for an hour or so. Okay. All right. So I drove up to the fire station, which was just like a half a block away from the tire store, and I just parked in their parking lot. I got permission. I rang the doorbell and told him what was going on, and he said, "Thanks for letting me know. You're fine where you are as long as you're not blocking her driveway." Very nice. So I sat for a while and took the dog over there and made sure it's like squeaky wheel. I'm just over here waiting. I'm 30 seconds away. And they were kind enough. 20 minutes later, they had me in there and they had me out of there 20 minutes later with the tire repair and full air in all my tires. I'm good to go. But I'm 3 hours delayed from my travel day. And by this time, the poor dog has already been in the truck for almost 3 hours. Cause, when I'm hitching up, I put the dog in the truck so that he's safe and not getting in the way of stuff. Needless to say, it was a very long day. And I got here, and so I drove up to Reno. So that was a couple, 3.5 hours. So we came to this on Harvest Toast. Don't know if I've ever mentioned Harvest Toast in any of these videos, but it's like a membership site for RVers to partner with property owners who are willing to let you come and stay at their. Oftentimes, it's a winery or a brewery or a golf course or a library or a museum, things like that. Casinos do it. And this is a private property, but it's a 10-acre horse ranch. And he is a horse trainer and she is a medical intuitive. And with what's going on in my life, I just said, I got to go there. So yeah, I was a little bit out of the way for me to head where I'm going, but it's 30 minutes this way where I'm really going to go that way, but who cares? Really, 30 minutes is nothing. So I drove up to Reno. I didn't even get provisions. By then, it was getting late. I can't drive at night. I can't. And after a long day like that, I was just frustrated. And I was like, yeah, the safest thing for you to do is just get there. Just get there. So I got here. It's very nice. The internet is very slow. That's why I think I'm doing the video is because I can't get online and do anything else. And I'm in a nice mood. I washed my hair in the sink because it was grungy and needed to be washed. I just used bottled water and I heated it up on the stove so that it wasn't cold and did a little Navy bath in the sink and felt so much better. Had a really good night's sleep. I'm plugged in, so my battery is getting a nice charge. It's cold here. So this is like the end of August. And where I came from and where I'm going to be ending up is temperatures are still over 100 degrees. I think it didn't even get to 70 yesterday up here in Nevada. Mammoth too. It was cold. And today is rainy all day long. Thought about putting my Starlink out so I could have the internet. I don't want to do it in the rain and I don't care. If I don't have the internet today, big deal. Because I have writing day. So that'll keep me busy because I won't be able to check social media about what's going on in the world. Every morning I get up, I'm like, okay, did the world blow up last night while I was asleep? What happened? Crazy times. But as far as my journey, I talk about every morning I stir that pot of grief stew, not deliberately. It just bubbles up. And I goop out a piece of grief and I honor it, massage it, consume it, digest it, whatever it is you do. And like I said, out in Mammoth, I did a lot of forest bathing. And I think really my guides, God, Spirit, Jesus, whatever, it's time to go. All right, you've done what you needed to do here. I released a lot. I journaled a lot. I cried a lot. I paced a lot. I had some technical issues that kind of consumed me a little bit. So was Mammoth my favorite spot? Will I go back to Mammoth? No, probably not. Not that I hated it. I loved the forest. I feel so conflicted because so many people love being in the forest, the mountains like that. And I know that I do. I love the smells. I love the sights. I love everything about it. But I was so ready to go. And then to have these issues that kind of held me back, the negative energy around me, it really felt like I was leaving to go to do something better. And the universe was giving me obstacles. My dad used to say, because RV breaking down, it's going to happen, right? You're going to have some sort of issue It's going to disrupt everything. And my dad taught me it's not the end of the world. And sometimes these delays are God's way of preventing something bad happening further down the road. I may have avoided an accident. I may have avoided some other catastrophe by being stuck in Mammoth with mechanical issues for my trailer. And they're really not even that big of a deal. One of them's operator error. Hello, that's me. And then the other one with the tire, that was just bad luck running over a nail with a brand new tire too. But it was really interesting watching him fix it because fortunately the way that I pulled in the tire position, the nail was right there visible, that he could work on it without having to take the tire off of the trailer, which was cool. He did say it's much harder because you usually push the thing in and you have that leverage, but he's trying to do it on the side, on the ground. Got the job done, and we got out of there. So I'm here at a horse ranch, and this couple is very nice. I've met them. Kismet met one of their horses. They asked me to do that because the horse was skittish, seeing the dog over there. Maybe thought that it was a coyote or something. So Scott is his name. He asked me, can you bring your dog over, welcome over, and let him say hi to, I don't even know what the horse's name was. I was like, oh yeah, because I was setting up my trailer. I'd just gotten here. We had greeted. They were leaving me alone to unwind and whatnot. And I put Kismet on his tether outside, right in front of the trailer. But he could get around the corner and he was like, he wanted to play with the horse. And so I don't know if they saw or they were coming down anyway or whatever. But I just stopped everything. I was like, let's just do it right now. Because I have learned by being at my friend's ranch about the horses and just letting them be comfortable and getting acquainted with them and letting them be okay. And so we stood around and chatted for however long it was, probably like 15, 20 minutes while the dog and the horse got acquainted and the horse felt more comfortable. They told me a few of their stories and how they fell in love. And this particular horse was their Cupid horse. And here I am, this little rider in me. I'm just like gathering all of this lovely information because it's really cute, cute kind of story. And I'm looking forward to getting to know them better today, but the weather forecast is rain all day long, which is fine by me. I love the rain. I love being in the trailer in the rain and the rat-a-tat-tat of the raindrops on the top of the roof. Literally, you're in a tin can, so you can imagine how loud it must sound. They'd have to walk down here to get a hold of me because we do everything on an app. And it's raining and the internet is sketchy. So today's writing day. I have committed to having the same guy that did my development edit and had me completely rip my book apart. He was very complimentary about a lot of stuff. But then on the other hand, a lot of it was like, okay, I get where you're coming from, but we need some action if this is going to be an interesting story. I've created more action, a little bit more conflict, a little bit more development on one of my characters, but I have to write it now. So this is a good day to just knock it out because there's nothing else I can do. So that's where I'm at. Interesting. Because all I really wanted to do was write, and now I've got obstacles in front of me to overcome. And isn't that just like life? Just like life. It is life. But you're life too. And I don't even know who I'm talking to when I do this video, who it is. But you think, oh, you set all these goals and you have this plan. And then, the universe, God, gives you obstacles that you need to overcome. Does that make the plan not worthwhile? No. Does it make it, do you believe in then that you're wrong? It must not be the way to go? No, not if things are still working out that way. But I always look at it as those little gremlins, those little demons are going to try to stop you from doing what's good, what you're supposed to be doing. And I am on a spiritual journey of more growth and contemplation and learning and experiencing that the little demons and the little gremlins are like trying to discourage me. Because I was meant to come here. These are really nice people. I would love to spend more time here. But now I have some technical issues that I really want to contemplate and take care of. The thing about boondocking, it's totally fine. I learned how to consume my energy. I know what's going on. And basically what I've realized is everything is just fine as long as I don't worry about the refrigerator. And that's it. Basically, it's that easy. So I have just learned that I don't need to pack my refrigerator with tons of stuff that needs to be frozen and whatnot. Or you can go to a campground and you can have hookups. But when you have hookups, you also have all the other people that are running that campground. Now, a dog doesn't mind it. I don't really mind it. It's what do you like and what do you prefer? I'm fine with all of it. Because every time I'm somewhere, I know if I don't like it, I'm leaving. If I get tired of it, I go. You can't do that when you have an apartment or a house. And I'm not saying this is a better lifestyle. I'm not saying that my way is better. I'm just saying that for now, for me, this is nice. I've said over and over again, I haven't really found anything about this lifestyle that I hate yet. Because even when I'm out boondocking and I'm out by myself and I'm isolated, it's like the full on writer's retreat for me. I don't need to go to some sort of a weekend retreat workshop just so I can write. I could do that as soon as I'm done with this video. I'm going to do it. It's a writer's retreat. Now, if I was in a house or an apartment or something like that, I know me. I'd feel like I gotta go do something. I gotta go run errands, or I gotta go meet up with somebody, or I need to weed the backyard, or sweep the floors, or clean the bathrooms, or this place takes me literally 30 minutes to clean because it's so small from front to back. Sweeping is a 10-minute job, and I usually do it when I'm drinking coffee and the dog's playing outside. And I sweep and I clean my rugs. Lifestyle choices. Just be happy with where you are and accept what is for now. But know that if you're not entirely thrilled with it, or you know that a change you want to make, then start contemplating the change and make it happen. I know that after I'm wrapping up summer, trying to avoid the heat, I've been successful for the most part. I was in Temecula until the end of July. And July was hot. Like we were getting up into the hundreds, but not so bad. But I ran the heck out of my air conditioner. And I don't like to be cooped up in the trailer like that. I like the doors open and the windows open and being able to go outside and be comfortable. And so this entire month of August has been exactly that. I'm going to make my way back down to Mesa, and I will park it there for a while, for 6 or 7 months, because I want to save some money and I want to be safe, and I want to know that I have people around me that will love and support me. And like I said, it's less expensive than anywhere else. Do you know that I paid $6.59 for gas in a little town coming up $3.95, and about a half an hour later, I think is when I got to Nevada, immediately crossed the state line and gas is below $4. Crazy. I'll go back to Arizona. I got to save some money. After all this time helping to pay for stuff for my parents, I got behind on some credit card bills and whatnot. And so I'd like to just park it and just take care of some bills, finish with this novel. So the month of September is to finish the draft. And you can see I've got my Post-it notes up there. Not the draft, the final manuscript before I send it off to editing. So I hired the same guy, Kenneth, to do the line edit and the proof edit, and going to be starting to work on the book cover and the marketing ideas, because I want to start marketing by October that this book is coming. It is. And it's exciting for me. It may just be a hobby. It may not go anywhere, but it's a learning process and I'm enjoying it. Just like my friend Lene enjoys her horses and her husband enjoys his boat and going fishing, and guys enjoy their motorcycles and going dirt bike riding or their side-by-sides. My writing is my hobby, and I am accepting it and appreciating it and enjoying the process of writing these stories that have been on my heart for decades. Dead Air is the first. It's my debut novel, but not the only one I intend to write. And they may never get read, but that's okay. But I think Dead Air has some really good potential with the radio industry, so we'll see how that goes. I woke up really super happy, warm and toasty because I could run my heater. It's rainy. It's such a different, like, woo, everything is clear. It's like yesterday didn't even happen, but I do have some things I got to take care of. So that's my delay, but not today. Today is just going to be spent with Mike Harris, Jackie Schur, Roy Longley, and Gunnar Jeffries. And who are they? They're my characters in Dead Air. And they need me to finish their story so that we can move on. Have a great day.